This episode is brought to you by Greyblock Pizza. Greyblock, it is made from scratch to scratch that itch to stay human. Get that Greyblock Pizza, 1811 Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles. This episode is brought to you by Hood Hat, and that is a hat right here. You can go to hoodhat.com to get that hat. I'll also put them on the Instagram. And this one says Los Angeles, Echo Park. This one is in Dodger Blue because you love the Dodgers, don't you? We also have Inglewood hat in purple and gold. Get a Hood hat. A hood is where you're from. Aren't you from somewhere? Well, let people know. We also have Hood hat for rich people like Beverly Hills, Brentwood, Bel Air, Malibu, fucking somewhere rich. Hidden Hills, if you want that Drake, Kanye, Calabasas lifestyle. We also have that Fairfax hat, if you want to get that, that Canner's Deli. Fairfax is that rodeo drive of Judaism. You can get that hat for yourself, for anyone. Use code HOODUSA, HOODUSA, for 20% off. This weekend, I'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm also coming soon to Minneapolis, Chicago, Nashville, Toronto, Appleton, Wisconsin, and a few other places. You can get all the tickets at theovon.com/tour, TOUR. Also, do you like animals? Some people do, some people don't. Well, we're doing an episode coming up about animals. So if you have an experience that happened with an animal, it could be a thing where maybe you had an animal and something crazy happened. You had an animal and maybe y'all took things to like a unique level, emotionally or spiritually. Maybe you had an animal that saved your life. Maybe you had an animal that you caught an animal trying to do something sneaky with your child. If you have an amazing experience that happened with an animal, hit the hotline. Don't hit the hotline and just say, look, I got a snake. His name is, fucking Reginald. I don't care about that. I need a real experience that happened with you and an animal. The hotline is 985-664-9503. And now today's episode is really just a superb human. He does a lot of new stuff. He's got a great new podcast called Inside of You. He also played Lex Luthor in Smallville on television. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Rosenbaum.
Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell you my stories.
Your hair looks great.
Thanks, man. I just got up, bro.
Really?
I fucking had, just haven't been sleeping that good. I just got back from China, so. We rolling, bud? All right, cool. Dude, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It seems like it was a little, I wouldn't say messy.
Yeah.
But it seems like I walked in, the first thing you said was, you look like shit.
Yeah.
Which was that true? Was that a true statement?
I mean, first of all, move the mic down a little bit. You're hiding behind the mic.
Okay.
Which is a novice podcaster.
Yeah, my bad.
Move,
My
okay.
bad.
Second, did I think you look like shit? How do you think you look?
Well, I thought this was just a podcast. I thought, we weren't going to video it, so I brought my cut-off sweatpants and the LeBron shirt that hasn't been washed.
Wow.
And
immediately on the LeBron wagon.
Well, no. See, I'm one of those guys who I don't really know anything about basketball. I could name 5 players, but I like LeBron. And people give him shit. And we don't talk sports, but the fact that he was in Cleveland, moved just to get a championship, came back to Cleveland, won a championship, then came out to L.A.
Yeah.
At the end of your career, you've done everything. Why not play for the Lakers?
Yeah.
And I live here, so it'd be fun to see him. So, yeah, I'm on the wagon. Fuck it.
Now, who was also on the wagon is who? Michael Rapaport? Is he on the wagon or he hates LeBron?
He hates LeBron.
Does he hate
hates
it?
LeBron. Ha, so now LeBron's out here.
I'm a Knicks fan, and we have nothing to root for.
Well, you guys put all that money on Carmelo.
He's just terrible.
He's not a champion.
Well, he's just not a team player.
Right.
That's what I felt. And so, it was a little disconcerting to watch those years.
You're a hockey guy, right?
Big hockey fan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love hockey. I think it's the best sport in the world.
When you saw that, because recently the Las Vegas Knights, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You're
not a hockey fan, are you?
I'm not a hockey fan. Well, I grew up in Louisiana. We didn't even have, I remember one time we got some ice. And
one time you got ice.
Everybody used it. Yeah, people used it to keep meat cold and everything like that, and that was it. If you'd have been caught skating on that, dude, somebody would have beat your ass.
Beat your ass, yeah.
Well, it would have just been treason. It would have been high treason, actually. Skating on such a usable good.
Well, I grew up in Indiana, southern Indiana. We had there was like a rink or two, so that's where I started playing hockey.
So I guess when you get down to that Midwest, you can still maybe get an occasional rink.
Yeah, Indiana. Once you get down to Louisiana, I think you're right. I don't really know a lot of people that play in Louisiana. There's not a lot of NHL players from Louisiana,
right?
But we were relatively close to Michigan, a couple hours. Chicago, Ohio, cold states. Chicago's not a state, but it's a city.
Did you feel? But it could be a state.
It could be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It depends. Also, if you have a mentally handicapped friend who doesn't know that much, and he might think it's a state, or he might think it's a theme park. Some people think it's a theme park.
Chicago's a theme park?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that. You think Chicago's a theme park?
The whole Midwest is a theme park for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm from La Crosse, Wisconsin. So
oh, really?
Yeah, I love Chi-Town.
That's a cold place, man.
Very cold. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, those people, they get cold over there. And there's a lot of, it's premature baby country, too. You know that?
Premature baby country?
Yeah, isn't it?
I think that was just afflicted me.
What is premature baby?
Theo's convinced I'm a premature baby, and
I didn't say that.
I don't know my biological parents that well, so it's quite possible.
So you think you just came out too soon?
Yeah, at least smoking during pregnancy.
He seemed like he just got here early sometimes.
Oh, I feel like that makes sense.
Do you ever feel that about yourself?
Yeah, right now.
Really?
I didn't sleep well last night. My dog was moving around. I just kind of feel out of it. I think I might have been
in the bed with the dog.
I do sleep in the bed with the dog, and for some reason, every night I think, this night I'm going to have him sleep outside of the door, and he's going to sleep outside of the room, and I'm going to get some good sleep. But there's something about it now that I need his warmth.
Now, do you start to worry that will replace? Because you're not married, right?
No.
Now, do you worry though that that say whatever vibe you were gonna say your instincts were thinking, oh, it'd be nice to have a woman here, that you fill those with the dog, and then you end up not, it's just less of a push to get married? I mean, if you even want to, or to have a
I don't know. The dog's 10, which is 70 really, and I've been dating this girl for 6 months, and she likes the dog.
Oh, she does.
But she needs the dog on the bed too. Maybe it's her safety net too. It's oh, he's here, but I kind of need the dog to balance things out. Yeah. It also separates us a little, so you don't have to cuddle or do some shit like that. The dog's like, hey buddy, come right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And the dog just gets there, and you're like, all right, fuck off for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like dating a woman who doesn't always have to be so attached.
Oh yeah, I think touching somebody while you sleep sometimes can be really bizarre.
I think it's rude.
Yeah.
If you're sleeping, there's no reason to touch someone.
Well, a lot of countries don't do it. It's really an American thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
You don't see people in France doing that?
Oh, the French who gives a fuck what they do, I feel like. But it's if you go to some other real countries,
right.
I think
real countries, yeah.
You don't the only reason, Well, look, the only reason France isn't gone is because people are, kind of trying to be patient with them. But I think that that if you go to some real countries, dude, you go to Russia, you go to Nigeria, Senegal, these people are not sleeping they're not hugging at night. It's almost insane to hug someone and also be asleep at the same time when you think about that.
Yeah, that's really weird. Some people need to hold on to people to fall asleep. Are you a cuddler? Do you have a girlfriend?
No. I have I've got a girl that I got a girl that I've been seeing, and we do not sleep on the same
bed.
You
sleep on the same bed.
Well, we sleep on the same bed, but we sleep in separate realms of it.
Yeah, I roll over. I'm facing the wall, and she faces the wall on the other side.
Yeah,
I think that's really important. It's give me my space.
Yeah,
I like to roll. I punched her in the face the other night, inadvertently. Mm-hmm. I just rolled over for a stretch in the middle of the night, and bam! And I just.
Are you a hard stretcher?
I'm a harder puncher. You know what? It just was one of those things where I felt so bad. I've never punched a girl, and
was it out of a cold sleep and then you hit?
I was like, oh my god! And she's like, what happened? I'm like, I think I punched you in the face.
Yeah, the dog's angry.
Yeah. Fucking the dog wasn't there at that time. See, that shows you I need the dog there.
Yeah. I was actually sharing a bed with a friend of mine, and we were just sharing a hotel room, a buddy, and then we each met some girls one time, and we were all sharing beds in New York. And I was in a dead sleep, and I actually punched this girl that was with me.
You almost said chick, didn't you?
I mean, she was of age. Everyone was of age, and I like punched her. I woke up and I had punched it just
no
happened.
reason.
No.
Were you drunk?
It was a scary dream or something that happened. And she was rushing, dude, and she had a straight cranium on her, bro. She had a fucking, from like the temples up, she was like Buster Douglas,
So it didn't even phase her?
She had a real top piece. It definitely woke her up,
Did you feel bad?
She was like, I think I have to go pee. That was it.
It's a strong woman right there. Strong woman could take a little punch like that.
Yeah.
Wow, holy shit.
And it honestly made me, and I don't mean like, it made me like almost respect, like, wow, like this is a real tough lady,
Yeah, you need a tough woman in your life.
Dude, I had a woman one time in Brazil put her hand in my pocket to steal my money, right? And this is a dark woman. I guess she was in America, they would say a black woman. In Brazil, I'm not sure if it was, sometimes people say like it's different kind of colors, different connotation, different vibe or whatever. But she looked like a kind of a black woman in America. And she put her hand in my pocket on all my money, was pulling it out. And so I take my other hand and like pin her hand against my side. And then she's still trying to do it. And so now I pull my hand out of my own pocket. I have her hand pinned against my side, and we're punching each other with our loose hands, me and this woman.
You're trading blows with this woman from Brazil?
And she was a fucking man.
In the face?
Yeah, in the neck. I mean, bro, yeah. She was going to steal. She would have stolen anything. She would have stolen anything I put in her hand, she was going to steal. Or didn't put in her hand because I didn't put my money
Yeah,
in
why
her
would you
hand.
want to do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't. And she was stealing everything. And man, I felt like I was getting stolen from.
And you just exchanged blows with your opposite hand, your loose hand?
Yeah, and it's harder than you think. Like if you have like one of your hands kind of pinned
If
against
it's
your
crossed, that one's crossed, and
Yes.
you're trying to do one of these little... Yeah, that's a weird way to fight someone.
Yeah.
That should be on TV, those matches.
Yeah, one arm
The Alanis
fighting.
Morissette fight, one hand in my pocket, and just another in your neck.
Yeah, dude, that'd be great.
We should start that.
Do the Alanis Morissette's fights.
Yeah, what do you think, man?
Dude,
I'm into it.
I love that, man. That's a great idea. What would be another cool sport to start? You ever think about something like that?
Yeah, another sport. Shit, man, there's so many. We need a new sport,
What sport do you think is going to go?
Something naked. I'd love to see like Naked and Afraid is such a big thing now. I mean, people love that show. Imagine you doing a sport like Naked. You don't like that idea?
Yeah, I don't. Is there something playing? Sorry, I just kept hearing something. Do I like Naked? I like Naked and Afraid, but you hear that?
I think that's Fighter and the Guy.
Oh, it could be. Do you? But if I had to pick a sport, here's my question: what sport do you think is going to disappear first? That's what I wonder. Because I don't know if all of these sports are going to stay afloat forever. Baseball's definitely gotten boring.
It's gotten boring, but I think it's just so Midwest, so universal. Well, I wouldn't say universal, but that's America. It's like people think. Football with all the injuries and the head injuries, and they lost a lot of. I mean, I don't know if that will ever go away, but now it's getting more and more dangerous. So,
Right.
I mean, they're going to take fighting out of hockey. I don't know that everybody says. What's funny is everybody who loves soccer says soccer is going to be the biggest sport in the world. It is the biggest sport in the world because of the World Cup.
Right.
But so every 4 years you have to hear how it's the best sport in the world. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that.
And then you don't hear about it anymore.
For 4 more years.
In America. I mean, I think in the rest of the world, yeah, it's great. I mean, I think the World Cup's amazing. I watched as many games as I could.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
great.
watch soccer. The second I turn on American soccer, it's not appealing at all to me.
Yeah, and I just like a sport where there's more goals scored. I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't want to watch, there's 90 minutes and nothing's happened. Oh,
Yeah.
that guy fell down again.
Yeah.
It's competitive and fun in the World Cup, but yeah, American soccer, I don't know. We're going to get reamed for that.
I would like to watch a guy who's like texting around on his wife, but also living with her, like in the same house, but sneakily texting other women. I think if they could turn
That's a sport?
It is. It's definitely one of the most popular sports in America. I wish that they had a way to make it like a way that we could keep score at home and like watch it, I feel like I wonder if more natural things that we do as humans, if we just videotape those, you know what I'm saying? Since there's going to be more like we're getting into the time where everything is videotaped.
Like Truman Show kind of shit, where it's just all the time.
Right. And then somehow within those idiosyncrasies or behaviors of humans become like a sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that could be kind of cool because I think a lot of guys probably do that. A lot of women do that.
Yeah.
You know, they're like acting like their lives all great, bouncing around the house and secretly texting some, right?
Yeah.
You've never done that. You seem like a good guy. You wouldn't do that.
Oh, no, man. I've struggled a lot, man. I've struggled a lot with that kind of stuff, dude. That stuff's hard,
With cheating?
man. Yeah.
You've struggled with cheating.
Yeah. I've never been good at it. What about you?
Never been good at cheating or never been a cheater?
I've been a cheater and I've never been good at cheating. I've been good at it, but it never ends well. In the end, I've never been good at it because it makes me feel like a bad person, but I'm unable to like not do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I've never, believe it or not, I've never cheated.
Wow.
And I've been in some, but yeah, it's tough for me. I just can't live with myself. Like you said, that I'm just not good at, I just feel so horrible.
Yeah.
Like, why would I do this?
Yeah.
You know, there's even like, you know, some girl gave me her number like years ago and I was dating this person. She goes, hey, call me. And she was so pretty. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then afterwards I took her number and I deleted it. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Because I felt like this is, I shouldn't be doing this. Is the girl doing this to me? I don't know. I'm weird like that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
No,
cheating
you're not
that goes
weird
on.
like that. I mean, that's a right way to do it.
Yeah, and it's also like a balancing. Even like when you're dating, man. Have you ever noticed this when you're dating? It's like you always have, you know, especially when you're in your 20s or 30s. How old are you now?
I'm in my 30s. I'm 38.
Yeah, I'm 46.
Are you really?
Yeah, I can't be doing this shit. So when you said that you look like shit, I probably look better now.
You look better now.
Because I don't look maybe 40. I look like early 40s maybe.
You look better now than when you came in the room.
Really, I've woken up a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's a treat.
By the end of this, you could look fucking really good.
I could look 40. Brad Pitt, he throws at me. You
Wow.
kind of look like Brad Pitt on your picture the past weekend with Theo Vaughn. That's a really handsome picture. You are a handsome guy.
I'm an 8, bro.
Well-
I got a big nose and my eyes are kind of a little too Polish.
My
you know?
my friend Dax said I was an 8. He says you're a 6 in looks and a 10 in personality, so you're a solid 8. So I
Did
was
he
like,
really?
hey, that's cool.
8's the one to get. It's universal. You know, it's kind of it's filled out. Like, you know, I think 8s kind of know some of their strengths and know their weaknesses. 10 imagine being a 10, dude.
Nah, I can't do it because you're only going one way,
Yeah.
down.
Only
if you're a
down.
10, you're only going down. That's why I feel like all these hot guys like Bradley Cooper and, you know, yeah, they're gorgeous.
He looks like a llama a little bit, though. He looks like it's like kind of a strong llama.
a strong llama, good-looking llama.
You know what I'm saying? He's long and, you know, it's a little too long, you know?
Really think so. You know, the thing is if he's a 10 now, you only got one way to go. For us, guys like us, well, you're better looking than me. I'm like, but I feel like, hey, when I get older, I'm not. Maybe I'll look a little better,
Right.
Or I won't. You won't. Here's the difference. You won't notice when I start to look worse,
Right.
As you will somebody who's really good looking,
Right.
When they get a little worse, everybody notices. Oh,
Yeah.
what happened to Bradley Cooper?
Yeah. Oh, God, he really fell off, and all he did was, you know, he has a little bit of jam on his cheek from breakfast.
Some jam.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It was a little jam, and he's just going downhill. We have jam on our cheek.
Yeah.
It's cute.
People are like, oh, God, look at that guy.
That cute
Look at that
jam.
little Smucker bunny. You know?
It's true.
Yeah.
That's my theory on all of it.
Well, dude, I love that. That is the best thing about being an 8. It's like you have room to grow. You have room to flow kind of a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You have the potential. You could show up and be an 8.5 at a wedding. You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
You throw on a suit, Theo Vaughn,
Yeah.
and you were kicking close to an 8.5, 9.
Yeah,
I bet
you-
you clean up real well.
No. I don't think that, but I think that you can look like I love this. So I love the idea that everybody should think that they're an 8, because here's what I also think is that, you know, like your buddy Dax told you that you're a 10 in personality and a 6 in looks, right? And if his calculations could be off, dude, or they could be, you know, pretty correct. But the thing is that it's great to have. I feel like we all even out. It's all fucking evens out, dude. So it's like somebody that's rich could be a fucking piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
Somebody that has one arm could have a huge dick, right? Somebody that can't read could be Rain Man. You know, it's
So
like,
everybody has their strengths, is what you're saying. Like
yes,
everybody
but
has their strength.
But it's all in the end. If you're able to get a complete look at somebody, it all evens out. So I think everybody is an 8, really.
Well,
You
that's
know?
nice of you to say that.
I think
You
everybody's
think
an 8.
Nick's an 8? Is it Nick?
He could do it, dude, but he was born early.
Yeah, you're a premature baby.
I may be a 6, but if I was full term, I'd be an 8.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He'll live probably 80 years. He'll never hit 9 months. You know what I'm saying?
He'll live 80 years, but he'll never be a fully
He'll be that
ripe,
8th month.
a
He'll be
ripe
that
child.
8th month journeyman. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's like Sam Perkins or whatever of like genetics.
Was your mom a stoner or anything like that?
Oh, come on, guy.
She was all those things.
Well, my mom was. My mom was on Valium and a lot of drugs and things like that. And
a lot of drugs and also schizophrenia.
Oh, wow.
she had schizophrenia?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see this documentary called Three Identical Strangers that's
Yeah.
out right now. It's pretty fucked
Called
up.
Looking for Nick Davis. Have you
Looking
seen that?
for Nick Davis.
Have you
Old
seen that
Nick Davis.
documentary?
Premature.
Yeah. Dude, where is the premature baby documentary and how that all plays out?
I wonder how that affects children.
Yeah.
Can I follow you around for the rest of the day?
Absolutely.
Just for the day. I just want to see what your life's like. Is that all right?
I'm gonna be here for the next 12 hours. So.
Do you think that you have like any of that stuff? Like your mom's schizophrenic? Is she really schizophrenic?
She really is, and I've totally like. They always say like 30 is kind of like this point where it's safe, and I've always kind of taken self-inventory, been like, am I fucking crazy right now? But I think I'm cool. I think I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and now once you get through the 30s and you're safe of having like the onset of it or no?
That's like all the literature says. I mean, I'm sure there's anomalies that happen later 30s, but everybody says late 20s you're kind of safe.
What are signs? I just want to know what signs are. So if we see any in the next 30, 45 minutes in here, we could let you know.
Hearing voices.
Well, we heard that.
You're hearing
So-
two right now. What if you're not even in a podcast studio?
Theo might be.
You're right. I might not even be producing this podcast because it's also delusions of grandeur.
There you go.
I'm sitting in a room with Michael Rosenbaum and Theo Vaughn right now. I don't think so.
Is that anything like borderline personality schizophrenia? You know what that is?
I'm not a psychologist.
Borderline personality
Yeah.
disorder?
Yeah.
It'd be great to have a guest on that has it so we could talk about that though.
You don't have any issues?
What do I have? I think I'm probably a little bit on the autism thing somewhere, you know? Outside of that, what else?
ADD?
dude? Yeah, I think I have attention deficit disorder. Trying to think of what else outside of that. dude.
Depression?
Yeah, probably depression. What else?
You said nothing, and we've already named 3.
But those to me are those are like
they're blessings.
well, they're just easy. Those are like people have real fucking issues.
yeah.
you know?
And
And also, America has like so. It's almost like we get into this creature comfort. Like it's almost like having a disease has become like a creature comfort in a weird way.
I think you're right, man. It's like almost like and I feel like that. Like it's nice in a way that everybody can express like, hey, I have depression or I have this, and that's a good thing. But I feel like now we're seeing everybody's got something wrong.
Yeah,
And I
everybody's
think
got
that-
it.
But isn't that warming? Isn't that like kind of like a nice thing to? Not that I wish people bad
Right.
things, but to know that everybody's got their shit, so it makes you feel like, hey, I'm not worse than anybody.
Right.
Everybody's struggling. Everybody's got their shit.
right.
So that's good. It's good to know that, hey, you have a little depression. I have a little depression. You have a little
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
You get anxiety?
Oh, yeah.
You have anxiety attacks?
No, I used to get them more when I was younger. I don't get them that much anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's nice now. He has schizophrenia. You
Yeah.
know, you've got a little shit going on. I got shit. We're human.
Yeah, no, I think it's look, I try to live in that space that I feel like the one place I feel like Hollywood's done a bad job of acting like people are human, you know? It's like they create this idea that people aren't and then they just use those elements to like kind of sell stuff or to I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of Hollywood celebrities who are kind of stuck in a way like they're in this old world where they can't just be themselves.
Yeah.
And then there's like another generation that's just like, oh, I'm just being whatever I want to be. That kind of like Instagrammers and YouTubers, those people that are just kind of making their own way that don't really need Hollywood as much, you know?
Right.
Anyway, that's one thing I just kind of noticed in the industry.
Yeah, but I think it's important. Like, I mean, it's funny because you're coming on my podcast.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what I was going to do with a podcast, but that's what it turned into. It became therapy for me, and then it became therapy for the guests, and then people were listening, going, "Hey, these people are talking about real shit, just like about anxiety and all this stuff." And
Yeah.
I think that's what's like it's important to see like everybody's got their shit.
Yeah.
We all have our shit. Man.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're just broken. I mean,
We're all broken.
yeah, we're not well, you know. But I also think that I do believe, or I'm starting to believe, and I could be totally wrong, is that it's like there's this thing where you get so comfortable as a country. Like I was just in China the other day, this past week, and those people don't seem like they're thinking about that kind of shit. Everybody's doing stuff. Everybody's cruising and moving forward. It just seems like
everybody's in the past or fucking not rip. In China, they're ripping off the rearview mirror and moving forward.
Yeah. And it seems like we're kind of like in this place where it's like you can dawdle, like you can be taken care of by the gut. Like it's like there's just so many like there's like fibromyalgia, which is remember is a television disease. It started.
Is it not real? You don't think that's real? Fibromyalgia,
dude. What?
You don't think that's real?
What is it from? Snake bites? What the fuck is it from, dude?
I don't know. Chronic fatigue.
Yeah, sure. Bro,
like, I'm always tired. I got fibromyalgia.
Dude, look, if you've seen 600 episodes of fucking Price is Right, yeah, you're always tired,
I've probably seen quite a few.
You know, I'd like to buy a Z. That's all you're doing. Fucking get up
That's
and go.
That's not Price is Right. That's Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about,
But I do know what you're talking about, and I knew exactly what you were talking about. That's so fucking true, man. Dude, I think that you just nailed it, man.
I hate to say it because people are out there listening who have that.
I thought you were going to say there's people out there who are going, hey, people know the difference between Price is Right and the Wheel of Fortune. What the fuck are you talking about? But I go, yeah, I like that idea, that moving forward, because I think, you know, my therapist once said, he stood up in front of me with his genitals in front of my face.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. Not naked genitals.
Was it Studs off of Melrose? Are you
It
sure
might have been.
It
It was the Rage over in Santa Monica. And he stood over him and he goes, Michael, you've got 1 foot in the past. You've got 1 foot in the future. And he grabbed his genitals and goes, and you're pissing on the present.
Wow.
And I thought that was incredibly profound, sans the genitals in the face. But I really felt like, you know, he's right. It's so simple. That's so simple. Everybody's always worried about, oh my God, Marcia, she told people I was the bitch.
Yeah.
Or, oh my God, your brother is an asshole. He's like, 20 years ago, this happened. Everybody's always thinking about all this shit, or oh my God, I just need money. I just need this. I need this to be happy, and we all do it.
Yeah,
we need all these things that we don't have. We're worried about the future. What's the past? The past is fucking me. And if you just try, and there's a lot of shit right now going on with meditation, and by the way, it's great. It's great. Like I never did. I always looked down on it. I was like, meditation.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't need to meditate. And I wake up and I'm like, 15 minutes to just take my thoughts away, all the other shit, and just sort of be here.
Yeah.
And it's weird, and that shit, it does help to try. It's hard to be present.
It's really hard to be present. Yeah, I think it's, you know, it's funny. I was thinking about this last night. Like, it's hard to be present. Like, especially now, I think our phones are something that take us out of, you're still present.
I was just going to say it.
But you're in like a different packet. You know, it's kind of like you're it's like you're being repurposed or repackaged, or your attention is being taken out of your presence. So it's like you're still present, but your attention is, I don't know.
Limited.
Yes.
Well, how about this? How many times do you think that we're talking right now? If we weren't on this, there'd be sort of a propensity to just kind of grab your phone. Like, you know, you're with your girlfriend or you're with your friend. You're like, yeah, man. So how's work going? It's pretty good. Oh, cool, man. Yeah. I'm glad you finally got a job. That's so cool, Rob.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. And
then you're on your phone. It's almost like you're compelled to you're always thinking about, I gotta check. What do we have to check? We got an email 5 seconds later?
Yeah, somebody said I might miss something. They're like, what if I miss, what if something happens?
The reality is this. What happened in the 80s and 90s?
Dude,
I miss that. I really do. I'm not knocking technology, but don't you just... I remember when my friend Danny Cutter would call. I still remember his number, 812-853-6464.
And you guys can call that, actually.
You can call it. And
ask for the late...
Shit, I shouldn't have given you that number. He didn't live there anymore.
He doesn't?
4 families later.
But you can still call and ask for Daniel Cutter.
You can still ask for Daniel Cutter.
And say, is he there? And they're going to he doesn't live here anymore. And like, well, look, he used to.
Yeah, and say, if you see him, tell him to meet me at Newburgh Cinema at 8 p.m. We're going to see Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, we're going to see Pink Cadillac.
Yeah, dude. And that's what we did. And you just... hoped he'd be there.
Yeah.
You thought, hey, Danny's going to meet me there at 8, and it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
And you have to check your text every 10 minutes to see if he's going to cancel, or you just showed up at Newburgh Civitan and...
Right. And then your attention was, you were excited about seeing him. So it's like, your attention was like, you're like, oh yeah, where's my buddy? You're thinking about the movie. Your attention and your focus are in those things. Whereas like, yeah, it's just like our focus gets taken away for a little bit. That's the thing. So it's like, it's I don't know, like waters down. It waters everything down in a weird way. It's like, yeah, I know I'm gonna see my sister, but I've already talked to her 5 times this week, or I've already texted with her 20 times this week. It's like, it's just not the same, you know?
Yeah, maybe there's something we can do. Like I do a thing where we're having breakfast or something with my friends, and we're sitting there, and I go, hey, everybody's cell phone in the middle. Everybody put their cell phones in the middle. If you want your cell phone, you're paying for breakfast. If you grab your phone, you're paying for breakfast. Let's all have an hour where we just sit here and talk to each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know,
I could see that. I'd eat breakfast with you probably in silence sometime.
You do it?
Oh, you have to
in
talk still?
You would. You're like, wait, does that mean I have to talk to you?
Oh, my bad.
Fuck!
I thought I was going to be a fucking
Yeah, you don't have
quiet.
to, but as long as you're present, as long as you just look and eating your food and you're there and you're not distracted by anything other than the food, but that's okay. I'll deal with that. If Theo just wants to have his food, nothing wrong with that.
I was thinking yesterday, man. So, you know, we all have family members that have passed away or whatever. My dad passed away when I was kind of young, maybe 16, not super young. But I was thinking yesterday, I was like, man, it'd be nice to see my dad, right, to spend time with him. But then I started thinking, but how long would I hang out with my dad before I'd be like, man, Dad, I'm going to go do something.
I'm playing Angry Birds.
Yeah. I'm going to go fucking... Like, how long before you hanging out with somebody you haven't seen your whole life you would give anything to see, to spend time with?
And then you saw them.
And then how long till you fucking peek at your phone? You know what I'm saying? How long?
Hey, this is
You're gonna
so
fucking
great.
be
I'm so
sitting-
great. You're so glad you're alive.
Yeah.
I just want to check the Dow real quick. Oh, my God. We're down 40. I'm going to call my business manager real quick.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you know what?
It's crazy, but it's crazy to think.
That's a crazy thought because you think, oh my God, I'd spend every waking hour for the next 20 years.
Right.
But no, you wouldn't. And the reality is, too, is I don't see my family that much. I see my mom. She lives in Indiana. I see her once a year for a couple days. I see my dad maybe once or twice a year. He lives in New York. I don't see my family very often. And, you know, the great thing about technology... Well, the opposite of what we were just talking about is I can FaceTime and see my grandfather, see my grandmother, see everybody.
So that is pretty. So now
That's significant.
it is.
But-
That is significant.
But if I didn't have it, I'd say I have to go visit them. I have to see them. Maybe
Right.
I'd go see them more. But maybe this is a cop out. It's like, oh, but I'm seeing them.
Right.
I'm seeing them on this phone here. So maybe I don't know, man.
Right. Like, so I wonder if we're going to start to evolve into, like you're saying it right now, I have to see them, right? I wonder if there's going to be some new turn of phrase or something that's going to be actually that I have to actually spend time, you know, like because it used to be I can't wait to see my grandparents, but now you get that, like that's been appeased, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, then what is it going like?
Virtual reality, touching my grandparents.
Right. Or is it going to be?
Do you feel that, Grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
She's like,
What was that? That's warm.
yeah, and she comes, and you're like,
Oh
whoa,
wow,
whoa,
man! I hope my
whoa,
grandma
whoa.
does it. Do grandma still come?
Bro, we're gonna take this part out. We have a lot.
You
of
started. I just was wondering if grandma's come. I don't.
yeah,
even
but you
think
kept
about
it going. I can understand a guy says something every now and then. You know.
I didn't. I just wanted it as a question. I just like to be educated. There's no stupid questions.
Look, I understand somebody throws a grenade into a busy family dinner. You know.
But you throw it back. What's wrong with that?
No, but the guy who picks it up and like shows it to everybody in the dinner.
Is
you
that
know
what I
I'm saying?
did?
Yeah. So everybody's looking at it when it blows up. That's fucked up.
So I showed that cum grenade to everybody at dinner is what I did.
I don't know, man.
All right, I'll stop that. I don't want to think about my grandma Blanche coming either. So,
Dude, you're starting to look definitely better than when you walked in.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I was asleep. You know, I'm bummed. If I looked like shit in the beginning, I apologize, and I appreciate your honesty, Theo.
Yeah.
But I didn't know cameras. I think Gianni, we play hockey together. On
Yeah,
Monday
you
nights.
told me that.
And I forgot. I don't read things that well. I have ADD, and I didn't know there were cameras. But I'm okay. I think your audience is probably cool like this. I'm just shorts and a shirt. I'm not going to wear a suit or anything. I'm not a fancy pants.
Well, some people I think were also thinking we come in as a little bit more of like your superhero attire, and also, but Lex Luthor's not a superhero. And
He's a super villain.
he's super villain.
Although, yeah, some people call him the anti-hero. Or I don't know.
Do you think he had the ability to? And for some of our listeners that don't know, Michael played Lex Luthor on Smallville, right? For
7 years, man.
7 years.
Yeah,
That's a long haul.
Yeah, it was a long haul.
And do you start to feel as like So as an actor and as a like having a character, is there a certain point like after a certain number of seasons or episodes, or maybe it's immediate, that the character actually starts to feel more like yours and you're able to do some things?
Yeah, you know what's weird is it was like I was always like funny guy and doing, I was doing some comedies at the time. I did with your buddy Harland Williams. Who,
I love Harland.
Just
I know you guys are buddies.
I was taking a hike with Tom Green and Harland a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
And they just randomly go, that Theo Vaughn, man, is fucking funny. Have you seen his? And Tom's like, yeah, man. And they start talking about it. Like,
that's
yeah,
cool.
He's a good guy. I had dinner with him at Bobby Lee's birthday party in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, Harland's so nice. I don't know Tom as well, but
yeah, but they think the world of
him. But Tom's Canadian though, and Canadians
Canadian.
are so nice.
Yeah, all of them. I think all of them are nice.
Bro, how did they do it?
And living right next to us.
Yeah,
that's
in
weird.
The cold.
In the cold, man. What was I saying?
Bro, I wake up, my AC's 2 degrees too low. I'm fucking furious.
What
dude.
do you keep it on to sleep? I'm at 69.
Are you?
And I didn't say
really,
that to be funny.
But you're also Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah, Lex Luthor. Yeah.
Surprised.
So anyway, yeah, the Lex Luthor thing. I was always doing funny stuff. So when I got this role, I was like, they're gonna fire me. There's no way I'm gonna play this serious role. My friends were like, they cast you as this, and they shaved my head, and then I started wearing these suits, and I don't, And it was just.
Did you think it could really be you in the beginning? Like, were you on because sometimes you get cast as something, you're like, oh, I can do this, and then sometimes you're like, maybe they see this, maybe they see something that I don't fully see yet. Like, was there any of that, or what was it?
I was nervous. I had a lot of confidence. I gave the best audition of my life. They asked me, they go, hey, be serious here, be dangerous here, be funny here, because there's 700 other guys auditioned for it, and I go, what did 700 other guys do that you want me to do? Right. And they said, well, just be dangerous. So I remember we had 3 pages of dialogue, and I've told this story, but I circled be charismatic here, be dangerous here, be funny here. Right. And on 3 pages, I chose to do that. I made distinct decisions. I differentiated whatever. And I just did it, and I had a lot of confidence because I really at first didn't want it, and I was like, what is this? I'm not going to get. I could be insecure as fuck. I could not have the confidence, and I did that day. And so when they cast me, I was like, they're gonna fire me. This isn't me. I can't play this villain. I can't. And they shaved my head, and I looked in the mirror, and I go, oh, you look different. You look a little weirder. Not that bald people are weird, but I looked weird. I looked a little I had this matrix bump on the back of my head, which I still had, the occipital bone, and I just looked different, and that helped me transform. Then they put Armani suits on me. Look at me. I wear T-shirts and sweats, and that was a problem, too, when I went out with women. I think they thought they were dating Lex Luthor, and they were dating Lex Luthor. I didn't have a suit. I have a conversion van in the front. I just wasn't, I wasn't like as cool and smart as they thought, this character was.
Sammy Luthor. They got
Sam Luthor.
Yeah.
But I fell into it, and I got comfortable in the dialogue, and they let me sort of be myself in a way, a heightened version, darker version.
And did that start to grow over time? Like, did you start to, because I know sometimes in the beginning of things, they just, they want to get things established, like even just as like, but were you able, are you able to like create the character more as time goes on, and like what little bounds and things that character can do on screen that are still going to come off?
Yeah, the biggest fight for me was they were, it's like, when is he going to become evil? I can't become evil, but I could have moments, and I could have like little nuances and things like that you could say, oh, there is that dark side. There is that. So it was me just trying to keep it in check, because I knew I had 6 or 7 seasons to do it in if the show was going to be successful. Wow. And if I started twirling the mustache, like, then I was fucked. I was like, okay, he's evil. Right. But so it was one of those things, like I'd call the guys and I'd say, hey, and they were great and collaborative. We were trying to work on something now together. Alan Miles, who created Smallville, and Badlands, Into the Badlands, a bunch of shit. Yeah, they're awesome. And they were just like, I was like, hey, isn't this a little too menacing? He's like, you know what? We wrote it, but we know you're going to play a little against that. Always fight things. So the best thing to do when you're playing a villain, or you're playing and I don't know if a lot of people do this, but the secret is play the opposite. If it's so dark, if you play the opposite, it's still going to be dark, but it's like you're not playing into the darkness.
Right. Now the darkness is like a subtlety of yours.
It's become subtle. So people will say, oh, when he did that with his eye, that was actually a twitch.
Right. That's when the darkness really comes through.
Yeah. And so it was fun, but I'm like ADD like you. I kind of got like, after season 1, I'm like, okay, I did this. What's the next project? But I was like, oh, you got 6 years left, buddy. But it evolved, and the character, became kind of fun. And then let me sort of bounce around ideas, and You know, there's episodes where, hey, I knew I get to freak out in this episode because something happened, so I could play this dark Lex. So I freaking out and being maniacal. There, I can't. You know, Wes Craven once told me it was the best.
Wes Craven, the murder man, the murder mystery.
Well,
man.
he's director, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
the mystery murder man. Yeah, well, but he's one of my favorites, and I worked with him, and he said to me, you know what, you're gonna play an amazing, I don't know, psycho killer, likable murderer, something like. And I go, what? He's like, no, this is a good thing in your career. And I go, well, Lex Luthor goes, no, there's something else that's going to happen because you. And it was just a compliment. I just loved Wes Craven. He's my hero.
And this was before your Lex Luthor character.
No, this was as I was doing Lex Luthor.
Oh.
So this was something else. But I was like, I like to go a little nuts. You know, in life, you can't really go nuts because people think you're nuts. But if you can go nuts on screen and take all that shit that bothers you or that fucked up stuff as a child, like I, you know, things that I resented or things that I remembered and channel it through emotion, like on that's it's I don't know if it's fun, but it's cathartic and it's real. And I noticed that when I would do it, it would get a rise out of people. Like I could see the creators in the show and the people and the fans would be like, oh my, and I was like, oh, because I didn't know freaking out on screen would. Does it look real? Do I look menacing? I'm kind of a pussy in real life, maybe. I don't know. Am I tough enough?
Like, how does this come off? Yeah,
how does this come off? But you just trusted it and just went, you know, so when the dialogue was there and you start to see me freaking out in the early seasons and certain episodes, wearing a straitjacket and going and just going for it.
Yeah.
I just went for it. And I think that's something when you're younger, too. I was 27, 28, 29. And I talk about this in my podcast is like, you know, that ambition that I want to do anything. I just want to, you know, and then you get older and you start to, I don't know if you lose that, but that drive, that motivation. But back then I was just like unstoppable. I felt like fuck it, man. I'm young. And do you ever feel like when you get older, you lose that a little bit? That fire?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did. You definitely lose. What do I lose? That's a good question. As I get older, what do I feel like I lose?
I feel like you're just at the beginning. Like you're really blowing up. So it's different with you. Maybe you like.
I've always been a late bloomer.
Really? Me too.
Yeah.
Did you have hair on your balls in high school?
I probably had a little.
I didn't have much until like my junior year. Nick?
Really?
I was pretty late. I don't know, like 8th grade. I mean, obviously
premature late.
Yeah.
Sorry to go to the ball hair.
No.
And the grandma.
I think it's interesting, man. Like it's tough these days to like. I think as I get older, what do I notice that's different? That's a great question. What do I notice that's different about like my like fervor, like my vitality, or things that I would do differently in my 20s that I wouldn't do in my 30s? I don't know. I felt like I was so much more like insecure probably in my 20s and even like in my early 30s. So I feel like more like I'm a little more in touch with who I am now, I guess. So yeah, I guess I wouldn't do as much errant stuff, you know? Like I wouldn't just throw caution to the wind and do something kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I remember one time, bro, like they're like, you need to sing in this audition. And I'm like, I can't even sing, you know? I can't sing if we weren't in an audition right now. You know what I'm saying?
You don't sing in the shower? You don't sing in the car?
I mean, I do a couple of fucking bars, bro, but I ain't doing it. I'm not faking it through a whole song just to fucking make it through a moment of conditioner. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a fucking psychopath, you know?
Right.
So what I remembered watching, what was it? Oh, Shirley Temple when I was young, right? On the Good Ship Lollipop. I was like,
yeah,
that's a song I can pull off for these people. I just gotten out to LA. I was like, Shirley Temple, Hollywood legend, you know.
They're gonna love this.
That's what I was thinking, dude.
You know?
So
I'm gonna curl my hair a little bit.
I was horrible, bro. So I was sitting there and I can still remember their faces, dude. They thought it was a joke, you know.
It was.
And I was like, on a sunny beach in Peppermint Bay, you know, like.
And you were serious.
Yeah. Then I stopped and then I'm like, Cracker Jack bands. Like I went second stanza. You know what I'm saying? It shook them. I remember the assistant lady just like had to straighten her neck out. She didn't know I was going to go fucking second stanza. That fucking lame bitch. Wherever she is
and then
out
you said,
there,
thank
dude.
you, Theo.
Yeah, she was sitting there judging me the whole time. You're a fucking assistant. You're not even doing anything of your own.
Fuck you. You didn't take a chance. You didn't sing Shirley Temple in the middle of fucking these idiots.
Fucking Muppet, bro.
Chanceless cunt.
I'll choke out all your fucking cousins, bro.
I threw a cum bomb on your family's dinner.
Dude.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I did it. I did it again.
This guy's tossing dirty grenades into the fruit salad. But yeah, I think that's one thing. Like I think, like then I would do that and not have any thoughts. Like now I'd be like, no way would I do that. So maybe do you like know more stuff and you wouldn't do. Yeah, it's like you have more frame of reference, I think.
You know your strengths now. You're like,
Right.
I'm not going to do that because A, I can't sing. B, I'm not going to embarrass myself in front of this chanceless twat.
Right.
And C, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just not going to. I can understand that, but I kind of miss that.
But you're
sort
right,
of
but
blind
there's-
ambition. That
Right.
sort of. You know, I do miss that. You know, that just sort of like fear. I think still gets in the way, and when fear didn't get in the way, then I mean, we all have a little fear. But I'm working on that. I'm working on not giving a shit more, and I think that's like just being in touch with myself a little more and sort of saying, "Hey, what do you want? What do you want in life? What is it you want?" I mean, you've been doing this, you've been acting. People are like, "Hey, what's next? What are you doing?" That's the question in LA. Hey, what are you up to? And you always
Right.
feel compelled to be like, "Oh, I got a special. I got this movie coming out. I'm writing this script. I'm doing this." You need to tell people. You feel compelled to tell everybody what you're doing so they think you're something. So it gives you the feeling of I'm somebody.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So when people ask me what I'm doing, sometimes I'm like, not a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing my podcast, playing in my band, just have some fun.
Yeah, you have a band. You guys are on tour, someone said, right?
Well,
You guys are tour. You guys are doing dates around the country.
We were called Shit Sandwich. Right now we're called The Sandwich. It was just a joke. We were in my basement and we were just like, my bass player didn't, Carl, he's on Ballers. But
Carl Weathers?
No, not Carl Weathers, but he is African-American, Carl.
Is he really?
Yep. Like Weathers.
Is Carl
Mr.
Weathers a real person?
Carl Weathers is. He was Apollo Creed in the
wow.
in the Rocky movies.
He's a big deal.
Yeah, he's a big deal. But Carl never played bass. He learned to play bass. Kent was playing drums, never really played drums. I was like, who's going to sing? And they're like, you. I'm like, I'm not a great singer. So I said, fuck it. So I started writing my own songs.
Wow.
I started playing. My friend goes, open up for us at the Troubadour. I'm like, what? He goes, do it. I've never been more scared. So I got up, we did 3 songs, the originals. Then he goes, come to Germany, open for me. So they paid for our shit.
You went to Germany?
Germany last year, going to Germany this year. I'm playing in the Love Street Festival here in Hollywood. I mean, I just write my own shit, and it's not complex. It's not Radiohead. It's not like, but it's like 70s Southern rock meets like Gin Blossoms, Wallflowers, 90s throwback story. But we play our own shit, and I love it.
that.
I love it, and I you know, it's just fulfilling.
Yeah.
Whether people love it or not, I really enjoy it.
And so, like, well, like, certainly, like, obviously with having some success, there's something that happens as you start to get, like, a confidence that comes once you start to have some success in your work world, right? And I think it's probably in any work world. But it's like, you know, would you have got into the band, like, you know, 10 years ago? Would you have... You know, it's like you start to get a little bit more comfortability once obviously you have a little bit of enough money that you can pay your rent. You know what I'm saying? Some of those fixed costs are kind of taken care of.
Yeah, I did that with, you know, sort of bucket list shit. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to be a singer. Or not a singer, but I always wanted to write songs and perform them. I always wanted to do stand-up comedy. And Harland was like, dude, open for me, bud.
Yeah.
You can open for me, pal. I'm like, nah. Yeah, 2,000 people, Oxnard. No one's going to give a fuck. Get up there, give 8 minutes. And I got up there and I fucking did it and I fell in love with it. And then Bobby Lee's like, you're opening for me in here. And all of a sudden then I saw you and you were going up. And I had never done it. So I was going up with these big fuckers like you and Rogan and Bobby Lee and Swartzen and Harlan. And I'm telling you, acting and all this shit I've done, never been more fucked up nervous. Like, and the reality is, I should have been thinking, dude, you just started this. Go out there and bomb, have fun, not be so hard on yourself. You can't be as good as these guys.
Right.
You're not going to be great. And I didn't. I was so fixated on just, I gotta make someone, I gotta kill it. And I put so much pressure on myself that I think it drove me fucking crazy.
Wow.
For 6 months, it drove me crazy where I was just like, at the end of last year, I was just exhausted. I was just like, I got to take some months off. And just like, between the music and that and writing, I was just like, I'm too hard on myself. I got to give my body a break.
Wow.
I think that stems from childhood, too, is just being too hard on yourself. You're not good enough, insatiable. Did you ever have to deal with that?
Yeah, I think I had to deal with that kind of stuff, you know. I mean, I think a lot of it was just, I would get so nervous. Everything would make me so nervous forever.
How'd you get over that?
I think a lot of just a repetition over time. And then I think having some successes starts to make me feel less nervous overall. Like starting to like just realizing, oh, okay, like I can do one thing. Like there's one thing I can do. Okay, I can do, stand-up comedy. I can do it. So then I start to live a little bit differently in my body. Like, oh, I know at least there's one thing that I know I can do. So then it's like I don't know. I'd never had the feeling before of like something that I could do, that I was able to really do and like felt like I really could do it. And so then I guess it's then that starts to live in you differently. Like, oh, I can do something, and then I would go into other things, and at least then I would know, okay, there'll be a point with this where I'll know that I can do it, and then, but also you slowly start to get used to a little bit of what it feels like to have some confidence. And so I guess some of that,
Success helps that too. You're right. It's like, I don't know. I'm a complicated. I mean, we're all complicated.
Well, do people look at? Well, it's just a question of with success. Do people start to look at you differently if you have a success behind you? Right? I think they do. I remember, like, whenever I first got out here to Los Angeles, like Owen Benjamin is a comedian, Nick Thune is a comedian.
Yep.
They hit like the big time, like right out of the gate. Like they were just like rocket launched into like they were the next thing, right? Like MySpace had just come out, and I think there was these rumors. I don't know if this is true. Some of it is true, but I don't know how much of it is, that they each got like $500,000 from like MySpace or Comedy Central to make like some web series and stuff like that. And so everybody was like, holy shit. Like that was $500,000 like 12 years ago, you know?
That was like
$1 million. Yeah, it was like 800,000.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, holy shit, these guys, this is the thing, this is it, they're it, Fuck, I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, how'd that make you feel? I mean, was that like something? What were we talking about, Nick?
You hadn't achieved confidence yet because you haven't had success.
Right. Oh, so everybody looked at them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. So everybody looked at them like suddenly you're like, oh, these guys know what they're doing.
But isn't that a scary feeling when someone you think everybody knows what you're doing? Like there's a weird psychology.
Oh,
to
I
it.
agree it is. Ooh. I'm just saying, but it's interesting to me now looking back, like, did they know what they were doing? Probably not any more than anyone else. Now, do they start to feel like they know what they're doing? It would be ridiculous if they didn't feel that way, because whatever they're doing is showing, is having a return. They're achieving.
That's a mind fuck. What you just said.
Is it?
It's kind of a mind fuck.
But yeah,
in a good way. Like, yeah, it's. I understand it.
Right. It's a weird place to be in. So then they start to feel more confident, because when they walk in a room, people look at them like, it's like,
these guys know what's funny. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Then what's scary is all of a sudden you're out of the loop.
Right.
And you're like, what did we do wrong? How do we get back? Now we're not confident about our stuff. We got to find something that makes us confident. So people look at them like
they're us, desperate.
And it's just like there's this.
They're uncertain. They're unable. They messed up. And so, yeah. So then in the end, and that's a lot of that might just be Hollywood. I don't know if that's like that in other businesses.
I think maybe it's mostly it's Hollywood. It feels like that. I don't know. I think that's probably with sports too. It's something like he batted 340 last year. Now he's batting 240. Oh, he's done. His career's washed up. He's finished.
Right.
Get rid of him. New guy. And then that guy's got to build up and start taking more batting practice. And go get coaching. And all of a sudden he comes back. Maybe. It's such a tough business. And like, it's who's hot. Like I heard like a lot of people look at your fucking IMDb number. Yeah. If you're not like in the top 100, they don't cast you.
Yeah.
You got to be hot. You got to be this. How many followers you have? How many Instagram? It's not about talent anymore.
Right.
Right?
Right. It's not, but I think that I believe that the audience has to get smarter as well in some ways, where I think audience does want something that's more real and that's more authentic, than they did. I think they're tired of just being pushed like, I don't know. I feel like there has to be some, I definitely feel like everything's changing. I definitely feel like a lot more of it is in the hands of the entertainer now. Do you feel that at all or no?
Yeah, I feel like it's just like a...
Well, you came out of studio shows. I mean, you've come out of
studio
like
movies
network
and
stuff.
shows, yeah. It's
Yes,
like,
and I mean, you just had... What was the new show that you had recently that was...
It was Impastor.
Yes. Dude, everybody's been telling me to watch that.
It was fun. We only lasted 2 seasons, but I played a guy who was pretending to be this gay pastor in this small town, but I was really screwing prostitutes and doing drugs, and it was awesome. It was such
a
fun...
stepdad, basically.
Yeah,
That's what
you're
saying.
a stepdad.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and we did 2 seasons, and we pretty much got to do what we want, and I had a blast. It was the show that I would have probably done for forever. It was just one of those shows where you're blessed to be working. It's just like you're working 4 months, you bust your ass, you're making comedy every day, you're laughing. It's dark, it's funny, you're getting paid for it. It was a dream job, and those jobs are. But back to your point, there's so many things now that. When I'm not old, but we're younger. Like, think about it. How many studios were there? How many stations were there? How many who was making TV shows and movie? Now it's like YouTube stations and Instagram, and Instagram's doing their own thing. And
Nick's
Twitter.
filming a movie under the desk right now.
Yeah, he's fucking. What are you doing under there, Nick?
I mean, it looks like a fucking.
He's hearing
setting
voices.
up lighting.
Yeah, it looks like,
But I mean, it's like
looks like a short film over there. I'm just joking. That's kind of.
But you can do whatever you want. The good thing is you can make a movie with your iPhone. You can do whatever you want. You can make product. But the bad thing is there's so much of it now.
Right.
It's everywhere, and it's hard to People say, "Hey, there's a new show." I'm like, "Yeah, but yesterday I heard there's a new show."
Right.
And the day before, somebody else said there's a new show. And there's 8 superhero movies coming out this month.
Yeah.
And there's 4
There's an
Jurassic
ant.
Worlds coming out.
Yeah, there's an ant is a superhero now.
And it's not a bad. It's just like I don't even know what to do. I'm so ADD.
And not even the insect. It's a woman whose sister had a couple of children. Yeah.
Her aunt.
Yeah.
I like it. But it's like I just want a fucking chicken or beef.
Yeah.
Or vegan even. Just 3.
Right.
But just to me, it's so many choices that I don't even have time. I don't even know what to do.
But there must be something about you that finds, because you have your own podcast now.
Yeah.
And so there must be something that has led you in that direction to want to create your own stuff. Because I think whether we realize that in the beginning of having a podcast or not, I think it ends up leading us there some. I mean, I don't know, what are some of the stuff you found?
You just nailed it, and you insinuated something. You were like, it's like, why do we do it? And we found, is it something did you find? So that's exactly what it was. At first, my producer Rob was like, dude, you need to do a podcast. And I was like, nah, I don't think I need to do a podcast. He goes, yeah, you do. I think it'd be fun just talking to people. And I go, all right, you know what? Fuck it. How much is it going to cost? He goes, get a soundboard. We'll get some mics. We'll go to your house. You have celebrity friends. You have athletes. You know people.
God, Rob sounds like a great guy.
He is. He's a great guy. He's a kid. He's like 29. He's got a kid. He's married. He's just a nice kid. So he hooked the stuff up, and I'd invite my friends over, like Swartzen and Harland. At first it was just like, hey, I'm finding stuff out about them. But all of a sudden I go, one day, I don't know what it was. It was like Zach Levi was on, the guy who's playing Shazam, or
Shazam, who? That guy?
Shazam, the superhero. They just did a new movie.
The guy who knows what music is?
Huh?
That's a fucking superhero
now?
No,
Shazam is...
Remember music from the 70s?
An app?
Yeah. That's a fucking superhero. I'm out.
No. But anyway, this guy tears up. We're talking
That was
about...
a grandmother. When I was growing up, somebody who could remember a song from the 70s was a grandparent. Now that's a fucking superhero. I quit, dude. An ant is a superhero. Everybody's a superhero. Asthma's now a superpower. Some guy that can't handle air and is going to die soon. Wow. Unbelievable.
It's right there. But look, for me, it became therapy. I'm telling you, man. All of a sudden, I'm talking to somebody, and I go down this rabbit hole where it's like, oh, you get anxiety? Like we're talking about. And they're like, yeah, it was debilitating, and I did this. And I'm like, finding out Kristen Bell has fucking anxiety and depression and all that. Jennifer Love Hewitt doesn't love herself, and
really loves her middle name.
Loves her middle name, and she doesn't love herself. And all of a sudden, I get these texts from her saying that was like, I've never done a podcast, and I was crying today on how happy it made me to talk about these things and be open. And I was like, then I realized, wow, and I get emails from people and texts and Twitter, and it just made me feel good that people are. It's almost they listen to it and there's hope for them.
Yeah,
they feel like, oh, this is my idol, and she's got problems. She's kind of fucked up. We're all fucked up.
Yeah,
like we were talking about. So for me, it inadvertently became like, this is real. If I'm just talking to people and finding shit out, and we have fun, we're laughing, but I find out all this dark shit and
dark
like
there's dark stuff
I
out
can't wait.
there.
Like tomorrow, I'm interviewing Dave Bautista.
You are
Dave
the wrestler?
Yeah, but from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he was Drax. I'm like excited. I want to find out some shit about him. I bet he's got some dark shit.
Yeah,
and I think that's what people want to hear. They don't hear just like people going, "So your movie's coming out." You know those late night shows where it's 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's just fluff. It's not real.
Well, it's all fucking Muppetry.
Yeah,
you know?
That's exactly right. How do we choreograph this to make the audience sort of just laugh? He's nice. He's handsome. Go see his movie.
Right.
That's not,
It's a fucking sham is what it is at a certain point.
It's a Shazam.
It's a Shazam, yeah. It's a Shazam.
Just snorted out.
We got a couple of fan line questions that came in.
Oh,
Let's get to a couple of those, bro.
Are these
so we
live?
can
These live?
No, there's not live. None of this is live, dude.
Question from Michael. You used to be Lex Luthor on the Smallville. He was great, man, and I'm curious what he thinks of the new Lex Luthor, that Jesse Eisenberg Riddler Luthor, that old goofy ass Luthor. I don't like him, man. Take it easy, guys.
Jesse Eisenberg's playing Luthor?
He played him already.
Oh wow, I need to see that.
Yeah, thanks for the question. That's hard for me to answer because it's easy to sound like a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was here to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, he really dropped the ball. He played it maniacally. I wouldn't have done that." I think it's like there's a direction, and Zack Snyder was the director of the last movie, right? And so he and Jesse said, "This is the character, and this is what you're doing." And they worked, they collaborated, and that was the Lex Luthor that Jesse Eisenberg did. And a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people liked it.
Yeah.
I always say, like, look, man, it's a vulnerable position to be in. It's like you're an actor, you do a part, and like people are gonna love you or hate you or somewhere in between or forget you. And I don't know. I enjoyed doing Smallville for 7 years. I loved playing the character. I always thought Lex Luthor, he was like, he had his shit together and he was more in his head.
Right.
And it was real, and it was just like, when he blew up, and you were intimidated by him. You were a little scared of him. You weren't sure what he was capable of. So that's my interpretation of the character. But, that interpretation of the character was
Do you have a picture of Eisenberg or something on there that we can see?
Yeah, that interpretation was just, it was a different version. That was, sort of like it was a little bit like the Joker, a little bit like crazy, maniacal, and that was the direction that he chose. So,
right.
How'd I do on that response?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there he is, and I worked with him, and he was a great guy, and he's a great actor. So, people always say, "All right, well, why don't you play Lex Luthor?" I'm like, well, they didn't ask me.
Did he put on weight for this at all, or no?
No, I don't think so.
It seemed like he'd almost be a little too meek. I feel like in some ways. Yeah, he looks like a Lex Luthor, like maybe in Brooklyn, maybe. I couldn't see him Lex Luthering outside of that area.
Lex
maybe.
Luthering?
He looks like a gentrification Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is he's the, I don't know, like, they're going from, they went Jewish for Lex Luthor with me, Rosenbaum, then they went to Eisenberg, so I don't know.
So it's obviously a Jewish character.
Is it a Jewish thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Eisenberg, Rosenbaum. Who's next? Vaughn.
Yeah.
Vaughn's not a Jewish name. No.
Does, so what was another question? What do you have, Nick?
Oh, yeah, we got another question here. Another Smallville one.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Question from Michael Rosenbaum. I don't know if this is too touchy, but what's the deal on the set of Smallville, a show that used to be on with Allison Mack? Did you get the vibe or anything that she was into some freaky sex cult shit?
Oh yeah,
some crazy stuff.
Can you bring a picture up
was
too?
Was the vibe there? Was she weird? Was it just out of left field? Anyways, man, you're the man. Have a good day.
You know what's funny is I haven't responded to this.
Let me look at this. So Allison Mack is the girl. What was this thing called? I remember they busted a man who was using a group. Here, you go.
I've it's funny because I've chosen not to talk about it only because it's shocking. And all I can say is this: when I was on that show, Allison was the sweetest, most professional. She was just a great girl, a great actress. And, I remember, doing some self-help stuff. I remember she was a part of something, and it was different than it was now. But I remember her mentioning something. Oh, there's this
Agape or
an
something?
organization or something. No.
There's always, because there's a lot of those.
It was whatever. I didn't listen
Right.
to it. I just remember thinking, it sounds a little culty. I'm not, that's not for me. I don't know. And I just never thought about it, but
Mm-hmm.
it never, she never, it's funny, this is the first time I've actually talked about it, but I felt like it was such a shock to hear all these things. I just didn't believe it.
Right.
You know, it's like somebody said, hey, your brother killed somebody. You're like, no, he didn't. I know my brother. He wouldn't kill anybody.
Right. So it seemed very
to me,
bizarre.
seeing this, it's still, it's bizarre. It's like, I want to hear the whole story, I think's yet to come out, but I think a lot of the story is out there now, and I think it's just shocking. It's surprising. She was great. I just bumped into an old director from Smallville, and we looked at each other like, things happen in life, and you're like, you just don't have answers for. And for me, it was like working with someone for 7 years. We didn't go out. We didn't
Did
hang
you
out
ever
a lot.
ask
She
her out?
was
Was there
younger,
any-
so I hung out with Tom a little bit, and I wasn't around
Tom,
as
you
much.
mean?
Tom Welling, he was Superman. He was
Okay.
Clark Kent. So I hung out with him. So I really didn't hang out with Allison, but maybe a couple times throughout 7 years.
Was
so
there
we didn't
any-
know each other. We weren't close friends, but like there was always a mutual respect and a love there.
Did
Like,
you ever hit on her? Was there anything like that?
No, never. I never, with any of my co-stars, never would do that. Like,
Yeah.
you don't shit where you eat. Although I have shat where I at.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the past. I mean, there's when I was younger, I did a movie in Germany, and the girl and I, the actress and I, we kind of got together. It was a mistake, but then we became friends eventually, which those just never end well. So I never understand why people do that, because no matter what, if you're on a show, maybe a movie at the end, something because the movie's over, but a TV show, it's just bad idea, man.
Right.
It's just not a good. So and the good thing is Annette O'Toole was like older than me and married, so that wasn't there. And Kristen and Allison were a lot younger than me.
Right. But that's attractive to a man. It's not like younger.
Yeah, but it was they felt like younger sisters.
Okay.
Because I was 25 and they were 18.
And what was her vibe like? I mean, was she like, you were 25 and they were 18? That's not insane at all. That's totally normal.
Maybe I was 26.
Yeah, even if you're 36, that's not that
Look,
insane.
you know what it was? It was just like they're on the show, they're younger. I don't have as much in common. I like
Okay, so
80s
you don't have as
music
much
and
in
70s
common.
music. I'm partying at that time. They're like going to museums. They're smarter than I am.
Okay, so they
I
were
don't-
kind of nerdier.
They're maybe a little nerdier, but just maybe more intelligent.
Okay.
Although,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good
how
way to
this
put it. Yeah,
happened.
maybe more intelligent.
Maybe more mature than I was, which is not hard to do.
Right.
So I just didn't go there. I thought it was a bad idea. Not to say I never talked to a guest star ever, if we became friends, but just never do anything on set.
Right.
Like later on, if you become friends and the guest star is over, and you're like, hey, I want to get coffee. You're
Right.
not working on the show anymore.
But in hindsight, like, are there any? Do you think you could see her? So could you see her like being and getting into something like that?
No, never. I thought she was just a girl, a nice person who just, she's like a lot of actresses or actors. Like, we want attention, we want approval, and she found something that she thought would probably, give her that, and I don't think that's what she was doing when I knew her.
Right.
I mean, this was years ago, but ultimately, inadvertently, she got into something that was bigger than her, and I'm hearing things like, she said supposedly that. It was manipulation, or it was like, she was, what's the word?
Coerced.
Stockholm syndrome type of stuff.
I think that she, who's to say what happened? I mean, I'm not a psychologist.
Yeah, nobody know. We don't know.
I don't know. All I know is,
But we could
it's shocking that it happened. Like if you said, "Oh, Theo Vaughn killed someone," I'd be like, "Oh, yeah," because I don't know you as well, and maybe you did kill someone. It's not shocking. But when you're
Who is it?
what?
Who did I kill?
I mean, you could have killed someone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you probably could have
I
killed
didn't.
someone. You probably could have killed that girl, the African American woman who put their hand in your pocket in Brazil.
Oh yeah.
A neck punch is rough, dude.
It would have taken a while, dude. I was throwing some very weak punches.
She could have killed you though.
Oh,
first.
easily.
She probably could have.
And the crazy thing was, people around us in Brazil started like cheering and like betting on who was going to win.
Because you both had long hair.
Bro, we were both outside. It was broad daylight. Nobody helped. People started
You
literally
probably were scared.
betting. I was extremely scared.
That's
I was
scary.
walking in a foreign country by myself. And not even in like the best area. It was, dude, it was shady.
It would have affected my ego.
Yeah.
Like I would have thought, like out of all these people, this woman thought I was weak enough to put her hand in my pocket.
Wow.
Gosh, I
Yeah.
got to work out or something.
Well, you know what? Right after that, I went back on. Like I was on I was on a cruise ship. I went back onto the cruise ship and stayed on there, and I didn't go back out into the country. I felt
That's
like
a shame.
I felt like unwelcome. I felt just scared. You know, I did feel like some of that kind of shit.
When something like that, when someone violates you, it's just it ruins everything. I've been violated before.
And nobody helped. You know, that was
that's
the thing.
just bad.
People are gambling on who's going to fucking win.
People are gambling?
Yeah. And then also, I remember this in Brazil. Somebody would come up to you and say, I have AIDS, right? It was a kid. I have AIDS. I'm going to bite you unless you give me money. That was like
I would have
trick.
stayed on the ship. Yeah. It was a good call, Theo.
That was the AIDS bite trick.
You got to stay on the
chicks do that in
cruise.
nightclubs here in LA all the time. But it's like, this is like, I'm
going to bite you.
going to take a bite out of your wallet.
You better take me to Mel's Diner for a burger. I'm going to bite you with my AIDS. Yeah, that's not good.
That AIDS bite,
sad.
Boy.
Yeah.
But, so you never saw anything like that with that? So you would never think that that girl would be into something
Never.
like that?
I thought she'd be married with kids, and she was smart. She was, her, family was into music and opera and stuff, and sort of upper class.
So how does that happen?
I don't know if, what that means, but you look at her and you're like, oh, she's got her stuff together. She's not an idiot with her money, and I just never thought it. I don't think any of us thought.
So then how does that happen then?
I think that you don't ever really know someone. You don't ever really, really know someone. Like I could tell you my friend Tom of 32 years friendship. I promise you he would never kill someone.
Yeah.
But that's because I've grown up with him since I'm 12 years old.
Right.
And I know him inside out.
Cutter?
No, that's Daniel Cutter. Yeah. Tom Lally. Like I've seen his penis. I'm not in a gay way.
No.
But we know each other. I've been in the hospital. He's taking care of me when I had back surgery. He's like,
sounds like more of a almost getting in a gay way, taking care.
No, he's just my best friend. And
it sounds like Bridges of Madison County almost a little bit.
Man, maybe it does. I'm going to apologize to the audience.
My bad.
No,
man.
but you're right. I should have stopped with the penis. I think
just kind of like
he didn't have to take care of me with the penis right
it's
after
like we're
that.
like trying on scarves.
Yeah, it wasn't a good. Yeah, Peter's scarves going over. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Okay, so your friend Tom though.
I could tell you. So I'm going to change the way I thought. I'm going to do a Trump there. I'm going to change like the wooden thing. But I think that he wouldn't kill someone. I know him. But when you say Allison, would she do this? I didn't know Allison.
Right.
I probably, I'd see her once a week and I go, hey, what are you doing? How's your weekend? Great. It was this past weekend with Theo Vaughn. And that would be it. And I'd be like, oh my God, you had dinner. Oh, great. Or it'd be in the makeup trailer. It's like, what are you guys listening to? And that was it. I directed her in an episode, and she was sweet as hell. And she's like, "Oh, I need to cry. Can you tell me that nice story about your grandma?" And I would tell her the story, and she would cry. And then we'd roll camera, and she was just sweet. And she was nice. I didn't expect this. This is a curveball, but again, I didn't really know her.
Okay, well then, how about this? Then did she seem like a sexual person at all? Because, some of the things that they got caught up in.
Jeez, you're going deep, man.
Well, no, I'm just curious about the psychology of some of this kind of stuff. Because this kind of stuff is, it's like, look, like I will have people that will reach out to me, right? Like you might have chicks that are like porn stars, different types of stuff, reach out to you, or women that want to text you and get you involved. Like I used to have this girl that would invite me to like these orgies and stuff downtown.
Did you go?
No, I didn't go. But here's the thing. It's like, it would have just been, but I met up with her one time for coffee, right? So it would have there's just a couple of, it could be a couple of weekends. It could be it could be a couple of drinks. You're only a few steps away sometimes from things that you don't think you would be in, right? But I think you would still some people would still have a vibe in them that would match the current of whatever that is.
Yeah.
Do you feel like she had like a sexual type of vibe, or do you feel like she was like there's these like incels now. There's people that are afraid of sunlight and are just lazy and, aren't doing sex, or people that, no one likes them. So they just say that no one wants them. There's all types of stuff.
Look,
Did she seem sexy? Did she seem sexy?
I mean, that's, I thought of her as like a kid. I didn't look at her like that, but I just, she was like anybody else. She was flirty. She was fun. She was nice. I didn't really see that side of her.
Right.
I just didn't see it.
You didn't see it.
But I didn't hang out with that.
Right.
But I will say this. I think that, like, for me, I'm a bit of a control freak in terms of, like, drugs and alcohol. Like, there's, like, I have friends who get drunk and they're like, they shouldn't drink. And they get so hammered they don't remember things. And I'm like, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
So I am always aware of what I'm doing. I don't put myself in precarious situations.
Right.
I just don't. If I can sense bad things happening.
Yes.
It's always been, it's a gift, but it's also, I hate myself because it's like
Takes you out of the fun.
It takes me out of the fun, but like I'm running that cusp. But like I've always been like, I'm not going to that.
Right.
That doesn't look like it'd be fun. I'm not going to go into that place. I'm not. That guy's looking at me. I'm going to walk out. I don't want to be. I'm just getting away from trouble.
Right.
So I always, like, if some girl's a little bit like, I'm hammered, let's go back to when I was younger, I still remember going, nope, this girl's drunk and I don't know her and I'm not taking her back home.
Right.
I'm just not putting myself in that situation.
Yeah.
And I think there are people like that, and you're right, you miss out on fun, but you also take yourself out of dangerous situations.
Yeah.
And so I've always been that. So I know people who could do, like, I've seen them. I'm like, good person. Never would do this sober. Never would make this bad decision sober. Drinking a little too much right now. If somebody doesn't keep an eye on that person, they can make a bad decision.
Wow.
And so I don't know. With her, I'm not talking about that because
Right.
I never saw her.
So you don't know if that was her.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, you know, like you were saying people could be on the cusp of like going down that way, but I just like, I know for me.
That's not you.
Well, I just know I could never think something that was happening in that was right. And keep going down that.
Keep going down it.
Because I would think, oh my God, this seems a little dangerous. You can maybe get arrested for this. If somebody found out, oh my God, this is bad. This is.
So you couldn't keep going down that road unless what? Unless you had some of that in you.
Unless
you had some of that dark.
I don't even know if
you
you had something in you unless you were easily, like you said, coerced, or like, you know, you were.
Because
what happened with the Manson family? They
Right.
said they pleaded like what? That he did what?
Manipulated the people, I guess.
Yeah, like they were like, oh my God, we just didn't.
Stockholm syndrome type of thing, where
Yeah, they believed they were easily manipulated, like whatever. But they, you know, and they said that was the excuse. I know that could never happen
to you,
to me,
right?
Because I
now,
don't
how
know.
old was she? She was young though.
That's what I'm saying. She was young.
And this man was older apparently that ran the thing. So now I could see that. Say a man comes along, he has a bunch of money, you know, he has access to like a lot of, you know, fun, crazy stuff. Maybe he seems worldly. He seems like a leader of a group you believe in. Like I've been to these, I did orgasmic meditation where I'm driving around town and, you know, touching older women's crotches as part of a club, you know, like, and that's a real thing. And that's
really
organized. Yeah.
What?
That's organized. And I met there's other celebrities in it, right? Like, and I don't mean other celebrities, there's celebrities in it. But it's like there are a lot of different groups out here. There's a lot of people looking for connection, especially in Los Angeles. It's a very disconnected city. So if this girl was 18,
maybe
19,
a little lost.
22,
right.
Easily, I could see her. She gets involved with the group. She was an attractive girl, right? At least.
Sure.
She was an 8.
Yeah, I don't want to put numbers on anyone
Eight's
except
great.
You and myself, like us.
Right. She was at least an 8.
I think she was a pretty girl. She was smart. This is why it's so shocking to me. Yes, she was younger. She could have easily been mind fucked and given, like, who knows? They could have said, oh, and promised her these things, and she was empowered by things, and somehow she fell down this
dark path.
Maybe all of it to me is just for me. It's shocking just because, like, to know someone, it's like, you know. Again, I said know someone, but I really didn't know her. And it just makes me sad, ultimately, because it just makes me sad to know someone who really was a sweetheart and could be capable of something like this, you know, and I don't know the whole story, but it's just, it's
very bizarre.
It's completely shut. When I saw it, I looked at Tom, co-star, and I looked at, you know, I talked to a couple people. I was just like, I don't even know what to say.
Well, it looks like older man, whoever ran it, looks like he took advantage of.
That's exactly
of
right.
her.
I feel like
took advantage of a younger person.
Of her. He probably blackmailed her. He probably manipulated all these girls were manipulated and blackmailed, and these women, and it's sad and
it happens.
You hear about all. You hear about, you know.
That's the dark arts, bruh.
It happens more than you think.
Admit
probably.
that it is.
Yeah, the arts.
Yeah, dark arts.
Darks.
You don't think it's the dark arts, dude? A man doing that?
Oh yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It is, man.
I agree. Who's that on there?
I don't think it's. I don't know. Let's hear. There's another fan line.
Yeah,
let's take one more fan line question here, man. And this is from our LiveRaise fan line. You can submit these online through our YouTube link or through a link on iTunes, and you can submit a question that will come directly to us via video. Thank you so much. Let's play that, Nick.
Hey, I got a question for Rosie. Him being from Indiana, fuck that. No, ask him a question about Harland Williams. Make him tell a good story. Yeah, and what's up with this long hair off my head?
Okay, so let's see about that. Let's tell us a good Harland story. Harland's one of the nicest men I've ever met.
One of the greatest. He's one of my best friends in the world. We did a movie called Sorority Boys years ago.
Is it good or not?
Sorority Boys?
Yeah.
It actually has become a cult movie. People love that movie. They really do. Genuinely, I go to these like conventions to sign autographs, and people come up and quote Sorority Boys.
Have you seen Harland. Cicero?
No.
I think it's a movie.
Sicaro. I saw the first one.
Is it good?
Cicero. I was like, Cicero? Is Harland in that? Hey, buddy, part of the mafia here, pal. Hey, Theo, Harland dragged me. He and I have gone on some crazy trips. He dragged me to Burning Man. And, I don't do drugs or anything, but I said, fuck it, I'm in Burning Man. I'm going to do a Molly. And I did a Molly, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember just... he was
he wearing a diaper?
No, but I just remember him like us laughing constantly. Yeah. And we got this RV, and he used to get pissed because I was taking a shit with the door open. He's like, buddy, what are you doing, man? I'm fucking sharing an RV with you, and you're fucking shitting with the door open.
Yeah.
And
that's dirty.
I remember we came at like 2, and I don't want to miss anything. That's why I have it open.
I respect that almost kind of.
I respect that. It's an
stepdad used to do that.
Indiana thing.
Yeah.
And I just remember coming home like 4 a.m. to the RV, and he's like, I'm going to have a Thanksgiving dinner, bud. And I go, all right. And he opens a little fridge and the freezer. It's like this little square, small Thanksgiving meal in one frozen meal.
Wow.
It took 2.5 minutes to make it. And he starts eating it at 4 a.m, just stuffing his face. I was like, oh, it's delicious, bud. And I look in the back and I go, you know this has 6,000 calories, Harland?
Wow.
He goes, thanks for ruining Thanksgiving, pal. And he put it aside. But Harland's like one of those guys who just has a heart of gold. And he always makes me laugh. Every day. I have text from him this morning. Does he do that to you? Oh, you don't know? Yeah.
We're not that close. But we do communicate well. I think we've both kind of tried to become a little bit closer, but I think... we probably have to do a little bit more follow through.
Well, I'll have a barbecue and I'll invite you. And
I'd
he'll
love
come.
to.
He always comes to those things. But he's a treat, man. He's one of the
I went
top.
to his Christmas party and it was great.
Yeah, that's where I saw you.
It was so much.
Were you
fun.
on a date?
No.
You were solo.
Yeah, we were solo. But he and I were both like, I was solo, but it was it was fun. It was a great time.
That's
a lot of
nice.
cute gals running around. I got to meet Christopher Titus, which was cool because I've always been a big fan.
Yeah,
of his.
right.
Yeah,
Harland's good. He's good people, man. He's got some crazy stories. He took me down the Amazon River.
No,
he goes, buddy, we're going to Peru, and I'm like, nah, I don't think so. He goes, like, no, buddy, we're going on the Amazon. We're going to see lynx and. We're going to see those things that are in the
spiders.
Tree. Bud, it's going to be, and it was the most amazing time ever. And we swam like I swam naked. He had shorts on, but with piranhas. In the Amazon, and it was just he's just fun to be around. It's like an older brother.
Yeah, he's like one of the top 60 or 70 people I think I've ever met.
Top 60 or 70
people, not favorite.
Just people.
Yeah, one of the top. It would have to be.
That's pretty good. Top 60 or 70?
Yeah.
I'd say he's probably top 20 for me. Because we're closer.
Yeah, but still, that's
60
a
or 70. You don't even
people.
know him, and that's a lot of people.
Yeah, but 9 people are family members, so then you're down to 11 people after that if you're doing top 20.
That's pretty good.
You don't know how to work like a real top. You don't know how to work a top numerical system. What do you have to say, Nick?
Is Harland always on? Are there ever like
a lot of people ask me that
deep conversations with him?
Yeah, it's funny because when you meet him, they're like, he's always on. He's like, hey, buddy, why don't you your wife?
Yeah,
how's your wife doing, bud? And he's doing all and it's funny because they don't see the side of him like when his mom passed away. how raw and emotional he was, and how many times we just would sit there and talk for hours and emotional and like conversations about just life and growing up and his dad and, you know, girlfriends that I've had or what, you know, his ex-wife. We would just talk about real shit. And he's just there for me. When I was going through a breakup, he'd check in all the time. I was like, hey, bud, leave these messages. Hey, it's your Aunt Ruthie. Just checking up on you. Hope you're okay. Don't kill yourself. The family loves you. And like, he would leave these. I save all his messages. I have 100 messages that I want to make into a special.
Yeah.
And just use them all with like, it's just like these 3-4 minute messages of Harland. I have them on here. And he just knows how to make you feel good. And he's like, if he's your bud and he loves you, he's there forever. He's like one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have such a beautiful soul. He's a really interesting
And
man.
if people don't know him out there, you know, he's the Dumb and Dumber guy. He's the something about
Oh,
Mary.
yeah.
They know him, right?
Little of your grandpappy's slappy sauce there. What does he say? It's so funny.
You chewing on Grandpa's
So old cough medicine there, have you?
drinking some of Grandpa's cough medicine?
Yeah. The favorite thing is in Half Baked when he's talking to the horse, he feeds the horse all that stuff. He's like, "Whoa there, big girl." And there's a black girl walking down the street. And she's like, "What you talking about?" She thinks she's talking to her.
You ever run butt naked backwards through a cornfield? That's prison. That's prison and Half Baked to him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's I'll say this, one of a kind.
Yeah. And you're top 60 or 70.
Yeah.
That's good.
One of a kind, that man.
Yeah, there's no...
I never met anybody even at all like him.
Well, I think you have like a certain personality when you're on stage, especially that there's people who just go up there and deliver and they just have funny stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's a persona. Like you have a persona,
Yeah.
right? You have like Harland has that thing where he goes and says, there's nobody like him. Like you said, he's like, yeah, buddy, so I had the sand problem, you know? I had the sand problem. I had ants all over the place. And so I got really upset. So one day I went with a little bucket. And I picked up all these little fuckers and I threw them into the pool. Right? And as they were drowning, I got this little tear in my eye, you know? It's like I got emotional. And I ran into the house and I grabbed a box of Cheerios. And one by one, I threw them in the pool to rescue the... Like, so, I mean, he talks about the most random shit. And... I was always like, God, I can never be that funny. I can never do that. And people are always like, just be you, man. That's, I guess, the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
Just go up and be you.
Yeah, I think so, man. Look, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm certainly curious to see, you know, whatever you create and do next. You just seem to keep staying busy. And I think everything comes out of that. It's like, yeah, you know, if you just stay busy, things will happen. Things, you know, get created and, you know, you get to do fun stuff and... it's exciting, you know.
Yeah.
It's fucking them again, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is.
they are loud. Fighter and the kid?
Yeah.
Who's in there?
I don't know. You should just bust in there after we
Yell
wrap
at him?
this.
Can I yell,
Huh?
shut up?
Yeah, they're not gonna be able to hear us.
No, I don't want to do it. It's a waste of yelling.
Let me do this. Let's see what they do.
That's Theo. He goes, is that Theo? Shut up! We could hear you over here paying $1,400 a month. Shut the front door. Fighter and the kid, they're both gonna get their ass kicked. One more word out of you, and I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna roll your ass. All right.
It's Ray Liotta, you fuck. That ain't Will Sasso, that big fucking Flintstone.
Have you guys ever thought of soundproofing? This is unprofessional.
You fucking kratom junkies. Lay off the kratom, you creeps. Those guys are always hopped up on all types of like rare uppers and stuff.
Really?
From GNC, yeah. Oh, I drove past a GNC in Venice and what's his name was out there for it before it opened, dude.
Callan?
That's
Callan or
Both
Shaw?
of them. It was Schaub, I
That's
think.
weird.
It was
Showing up
Schaub,
to
but he was-
GNC before GNC
That's what I'm
opens.
saying.
I mean, I can understand a McDonald's for, you know, you're waiting for breakfast, but that's weird.
Who is it?
What the fuck are you doing?
Oh my god, bro! You look like
Get over here.
fucking.
What's up, dude?
Oh my
They were telling us you were at the GNC before it opened one day. I've been farting through
Yeah,
my
you guys
panties.
left farts in here.
Dude, we've been over this, Brian.
That's right.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Get older.
That's Brady Matthews,
God
dude.
damn it, Brady Matthews.
Yeah.
Yep, exact same thing you said last time.
He's an adult, dude.
Exact same thing you said last time.
Look at these.
Should we bully them or no?
Hang on.
Who's your guest?
You're looking at him, bro.
What,
You're
bro?
not fucking guess. Just ratings, bro.
Hey, I'll come over after, man. I'll be your
We'll
guest.
fight you on our show.
Oh my god,
Hey, well,
dude.
well,
Is
yeah.
everything all right?
The fuck you want?
Yeah, what do you
Everything's
want?
way okay, dude.
You want us to break all your
We'll
stuff?
break up all your shit.
Dude, half this shit is your old shit.
Yeah, we'll break it.
Yeah, I can
don't like
break
the
it.
vibes in here right now.
Yeah.
I don't like the fucking plants.
Yeah.
Do you guys think you should do something about the sound thing?
Yeah, get your
Nah, man,
shit
we own the
together.
fucking place.
Dude.
We run shit.
You own another cubicle.
Damn,
We own
dude.
it all, bro.
We have this.
Fire Kid
You guys are
facility.
leasing.
Bro,
Yeah.
Brian's starting to
Are
look like.
Rents due. Rents due.
Really? Brian's starting to look like your stepdad, dude. Get your fucking life together,
Hey,
dude.
that's not fair.
Well, look,
You
bro.
guys are in shape.
No, you're starting to look Croatian, bro. You gotta fucking tighten up, dude. Wow, you look third world, bro.
Hey, bro.
You look third world successful, dog.
lost.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, but I'm wearing my special. You
Yeah, no shit, bro.
No, don't say that. I don't like
No,
that.
you look okay, but
You're
the
making me feel insecure right now.
no, you look fine. It's the rest of you, though.
You're
that I'm
ruining my
worried-
podcast.
That's all I'm talking
What
about.
do you mean the rest of me? What
This shit is on, bro.
What is he saying?
You
about
tell fucking Dalia if he wants a strap to come and fucking get this bitch, dude.
that you have to look at that strap.
Yeah, it's a fucking belt, you piece of shit. And it only costs $182, you cheap fucks, dude.
What the fuck is this?
Huh? That's a real
You
knife.
got a knife?
Bro, here.
Yeah, and
If you pull, you gotta draw blood.
and come and get those wooden shoes some guy made for you one time.
Dude, you know how terrible those were?
Those are made out of solid wood, dude. Yeah, there's a worm living in one of
I have
them.
some Dutch in me.
Yeah, I bet you do. All right, we won't.
Mainly you, bro.
Yeah, get your shit together, dude. No,
Guess
that.
what?
I don't like the way he's looking at us.
Oh, that guy has asthma.
I'm a premature baby.
You got asthma?
That dude's a premature baby, dude. 7 months, and look what he's doing.
You trying to
Oh
grab
my god,
flex on him, bro?
bro, he is flexing his snap.
He
his
said I have a
spine.
good body.
One more strong flex, that dude's gonna break his own back, dude.
He does look malnourished.
You're
Oh.
talking about comedy or whatever the fuck you're talking about.
My bad, guys. Get a fucking guest, huh?
Pee out of my huge cock.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta come back. We fucking everybody.
Get a guest, bro.
Everybody can.
Get a guest,
You
bro.
first, homeboy.
Wow.
That mouth.
Back off the kratom.
That
Back
mouth.
off the kratom, you
China,
apes.
changed, bro.
You
Bro,
apes.
you went to China, you changed.
Bro, your shirt, bro.
Yao Ming now, bro?
How about that shirt?
You think you all
Dude, that
Yao
shirt
Ming?
came with school supplies. Get your fucking life together,
Bro,
dude.
You came from back China. You think you're big time now?
Bro, that shirt is for a child. That shirt is for a fat kid.
I'm thinking of Panda Express.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
Wow, does this happen every podcast?
No, it doesn't, bro. Those guys are completely out of line, though.
That was fucked.
It was insane that they live right next door.
I mean, what are the odds of that?
Yeah. Oh, it's happened before.
This
This,
yeah,
is, this is the first time they've come over and started shit, though.
yeah.
We'll see
that's
about
just
that.
the beginning, man.
Yeah. Hope it's the end.
Yeah,
But I think we can wrap it up, though, man. It's been a great episode.
it's been fun as shit, man.
Yeah, it's been
that was
good.
really fun. You're gonna be on mine.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too, man.
It's called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum on iTunes. It's free.
It is. It's
it
called
out.
Inside You with Michael Rosenbaum on iTunes. And Jeannie Buss is coming on here. You just had her on yours,
She
right?
was on, yeah.
Yeah.
She's coming on yours?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
She's
you
the
know-
best. You got to bring me up. We're
Dude,
good friends.
I love Jeannie. Well, the crazy
the
thing
best.
is that yeah, I just messaged her the other day and said I'd love to have you on. And then I'm looking through your guests and I was like, wow, what a smart guy. You
Why
know?
does Siri just start talking?
I don't know.
But Jeannie she's an awesome guest, and she's so open to talk. We talked about her life and shit.
She's great. Did you guys ever date or no?
No, never. She's always been a
Pretty
good
lady.
friend. She's a beautiful lady.
Very charming.
I think I mentioned Phil Jackson's cock on my podcast with her.
Really?
Yep. I asked her if it was big.
What'd she say?
She said, "Just look at his hands."
She told me, she said, I wouldn't take it in the first round, but I drafted in the third or fourth. That's what she said.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's a compliment.
I don't think so. There's only 2 rounds in an NBA draft, so
There
that's
you
a
go.
low-key insult.
Oh, there's only 2 drafts. See, I don't know anything about basketball, so that is an insult.
How's that happen in Indiana?
I know, man. I
Wow,
know,
it's so
right?
true.
Thanks to
Where it
that.
started.
That's unlike you, Nick, to talk to me like that.
Who started
Are you having
it?
a schizophrenic
Henry
moment?
Ward.
I think so. I think it's what was the other bipolar or whatever.
Yeah.
Borderline.
Dude, that's Jimmy Chitwood country, isn't it? And you fucking didn't even...
Dude, that's Larry Bird country. That's fucking Michael Jordan's estate over.
Milo and Otis.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Dean down on the farm.
Oh, Bob Evans, dude.
Bob Evans down on the farm. Fuck yeah, dude. I had all that shit.
Yeah, Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah.
It was Indiana.
Was it?
Yeah, a lot of people blame the South, and I say it a lot. I love Indiana, but, you know what I'm saying? Take back your product. We didn't start it.
Do you remember Pizza King? Do you have Pizza King or Pizza Chef or Druthers?
We had somebody got killed outside of a Little Caesars one time, though.
Mr. Gaddy's?
Oh, we had Mr. Gaddy's,
Mr. Gaddy's? I miss Mellow Yellow, dude. Mellow Yellow.
The
maybe,
soda?
Maybe some Pib.
Oh, yeah. Dude, my buddy got a can of Mr. Pibb one time, opened it. It was so thick, it wouldn't even come out of the fucking can, bro. How crazy is that?
Did he still drink it?
Huh? He tried to suck some of it out. That's
bet he
fucking
did.
awesome. And that's America, dude.
That's America.
And I'm trying to think of anything else we wanted to cover. Not much. And you know Gianni, who does our booking, right?
Yeah, he's awesome. I play ice hockey with
He's
him
an
on
actor,
Monday
too.
nights. Yeah, well, I didn't know he was an actor.
He doesn't sleep.
He's a good
dude.
hockey player, though.
I watch his Instagram videos. He's like, he lives with like a bunch of little guys. They're all like smaller.
How old is he? 26?
Or 40. He looks like he has to be about
Is he,
45.
could he be about 40?
If he dyed his hair on the sides, if he dyed it gray on the sides, he could easily be 40.
Yeah, one of those old sort of
Like a small
short,
Dutchman.
Yeah, a small Dutchman, a flying small Dutchman.
Yeah.
Nice guy, though.
Nice guy. Definitely
Funny.
seems like he'd be
I've seen him naked.
Have you really?
Yeah. Well, we were in the locker room
Yeah.
with Tom.
Really?
No, I have. Well, we get changed in the locker room. I didn't try to see him naked, but you're naked around guys, you know.
Yeah.
What round would you draft him in?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I really didn't look at it. It was like those glances aren't even. They're kind of just peripheral, like moments that you just like block out. You don't care. It's just a dick. It's another dick in the locker room.
It's true, especially as you get older. Now, that's something that happens when you get older. When you're young, you'll look and you'll take in that dick a little bit with your eyes.
because it's an envy thing. It's
You're
not.
like,
It doesn't have to be a
damn.
gay thing. But sometimes if you see a dick, you're like, God, man, why is this dick so big? You
Yeah.
know, gosh, why is my dick not as big as that? You know, when you're younger and stuff. Then you get older, you're just like, I don't even care. I have the dick that I have.
Dude, we had a black kid in our junior high school named Mr. Larry, right? Or middle school, right? He'd been in school
Big old
so
hog
long.
on him.
Oh, he'd been in school 24 years, I think. And this was back when they let you stay in school until you either got it or
They don't let you do that anymore.
no, or they gave you a job at the school, right? So I remember he would fucking come in while people had their pisser, and he would piss over. He would stand behind you, and literally he was so big he could just piss right over you into the fucking urinal, and that was like his big trick. And then they gave him a job as a custodian, Mr. Larry, bro, and he was
Mr. Larry just kept working there. He was a student and then just kept working at the institution there.
he was a student until they're like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? You're
Larry's
not the best
a
student.
staple of this organization. We got to keep him.
Student ain't your thing, but you definitely
Custodial
you're good here,
services.
and people like you, and you got a job.
And you got a huge cock and get pissed right over someone's shoulder.
Cocktown, bro. All right, that's a good name for this one, Cocktown. Michael Rosenbaum, you can check out his podcast. It's available on iTunes and Stitcher and every place that podcasts are available.
And
Thanks,
also
man.
short film, horror film you just directed.
I directed this movie called a little short called Fade Into You. It was at Screamfest, and have a movie called The Neighbor with Bill Fichtner's out. It's pretty cool. Check it out. And
I want to see that Sorority Boys. I'm going to see
yeah,
if
I
I
think
can
you'll
get
dig
into
that, man. It's me and Harland just being idiots, and it's a lot of fun and ridiculous humor. And my movie back in the day, I directed with Swartzen and Harland. And Miranda Baccarin from Deadpool, she's in it. Yeah, back in the day. I think if you like raunchy comedies, you'll fucking love it. It's a
Really?
lot of good fun. Farts, you see dicks, you see everything. Yeah.
Well, we'll put all the links. We'll put the links to a couple of those at the top, so people can check them out. Thanks, bro.
Dude, I loved it, man.
Yeah,
That was
had a good
treat.
time. Good to be here
I wish I looked better.
with you. You look good. You've evolved since you got here.
Really, thank God, man, because
You came in at
was
probably
rough.
an 8. You're walking out at probably a strong 8.
would I walk in like 5?
8.
I walked in as an 8?
Yeah,
How'd I walk out as an 8?
you did it.
I'll patch up where it's been blown. Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh, but when I reach that ground, my bones, but it's gonna take a little time for me to set that parking brake and let myself unwind. Shine.